Alright, this is the GORUCK GR1, the bag that has started my YouTube channel 8 years ago. After having tested so many bags, will this GR1 still hold up in my reviews? Alright, this is the GORUCK GR1, which is now called GR1 21 liters, and that tells you a lot about how old this bag or how long this bag has been in my possession. It's 8 years, and as I mentioned in the introduction, this bag has basically started my YouTube channel. And with that in mind, there's a lot of emotions connected to this bag. I want to try to look at this bag as objectively as possible, but I already noticed that there is a lot of emotions connected with this bag. Basically, if I would ask myself, do I like the aesthetics of this bag? I already feel in my mind, okay, on one side I want to be objective, on the other side I feel this is basically my baby, the one that started this channel, despite the fact that I haven't used this bag in a very long time. Not because I don't like this bag, but rather because I review bags basically on a weekly basis. And yeah, the older I got, I gravitate more towards bags that are a little bit more urban styled, a little bit more toned down when it comes down to the military look. And just looking at this, it looks military, but just as I wanted when I purchased this bag. It's not too on the nose. Yes, you have the moldy attachment points, and yes, it does look a little bit military, but not to a degree where I would feel uncomfortable walking, I don't know, to a business meeting, for instance. It still looks cool, but now that I have gotten a little bit older and have tested more bags, I would more lean on bags that are not as military styled like this one. That being said, it is still, as I said, I want to try to be objective, but this is a very emotional bag for me. I would still say this is a good looking bag. This has this very, I'm not sure if that's the right English word, coarse Cordura fabric, which I still remember the back panel being kind of like grit paper. If you have like a sweater like this one, it will start pilling on your fabric. So another reason why this bag might not be the best bag for a business meeting when you have to wear a suit or business attire, because this will rub against your clothing and those fabrics might start pilling. That has always been something that you had to keep in mind with GORUCK bags. This bag has been broken in quite well, so everything, the fabric feels quite soft, which is the beauty of anything that you own a longer period of time. Every fabric will kind of break in and get softer, and the zippers still feel very smooth and durable after all of these years. It is a comfortable bag for what it is. That being said, obviously, after having reviewed so many bags, there are more comfortable bags. The shoulder pads are soft and worn in. You can obviously, if you are familiar with GORUCK, they do these events where they put like weights into the bag and then do exercises, walk with the bag. So these bags are very durably made, and with that in mind, usually there comes some of a trade-off in terms of some creature comfort, let's say. As I said, the fabric is a little bit coarse. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but yeah, it will rub against your fabrics. The shoulder straps are, as I said, comfy, but there are much more comfortable bags around. But still, it is comfortable, especially if you consider you carry potentially some weights in it. Like all GORUCK bags, they have this slanted zipper for the front compartment, a Velcro morale patch point, to which I attach this YKT Originals lobster morale patch. For those of you who don't know, I have some, let's say in air quote, merch on my Patreon. If you want to know how to get these morale patches, challenge coins, coffee mugs, check out my Patreon at you know the bow. You have, as I mentioned, the moly attachment points where I have this carabiner. It's made out of plastic. I kind of like the look of it. You have the typical GORUCK zipper pulls with the heat shrink zipper pulls on paracord. I always wanted to, if I have a black, I want some splash of color. So I made these red zipper pulls onto them as well. You have a grab handle on top. And before we go into the bag, we have an external laptop slot. It's not really suspended, but there is some slight padding. If this would be a proper review, this would be something that I personally would dislike, because if you have an expensive MacBook Pro in here, you don't want to risk it kind of bumping against a hard floor if you drop the bag too quickly on the ground. There is some padding. It is slightly suspended, but not as much. I would prefer if the laptop slot would end here, so it would be properly suspended from the ground. There is no air channeling here, and there is a little bit, but truth to be told, even if there would be bigger air channels in here, from my personal experience with most backpacks, you will start to sweat eventually on the back. But with this one, it is a little bit more pronounced because the air channeling is quite small. But yeah, just something to keep in mind. And in the front, we have this slanted zipper to a compartment in here where I have some tissue. It is fairly deep. It goes to the bottom, so you can easily drop in some pouches or whatever into this slot. We don't have another quick access compartment. And for those of you who do know, I love my quick access compartments. This not having a quick access compartment is actually a shame, because I like to use quick access compartments for phone wallet keys. When I'm going through the security check at the airport, you always have to empty out your pockets, and I highly recommend I repeat, do not just put them into those bins. Either other passengers might just grab it, might just grab your phone and get away. But I have seen some videos lately where the TSA agents at the airport actually steal stuff. So I'm not saying that all of the people on security checks or all of the other passengers are thieves. I'm not saying that, but better be safe than sorry. So I rather put all of my essentials into a quick access compartment that in best case is kind of hidden somewhere on top maybe, or on the side, where people not necessarily see right away which pocket they kind of rummage around. Usually they do this in a quick manner. They don't just grab your bag and look around. If they see something that they can grab, they just grab it. It's opportunistic pickpocketing, let's say. And if it's in a pocket, it's much better. So I would have preferred another quick access compartment. Obviously, you can put it here in the front pocket, but as I said, you rather want a quick access compartment somewhat hidden on the side or on the top, and this is very obvious. So it would be fairly easy to kind of open it up, grab it, close it back down, and then act as nothing has happened. So this is okay-ish, but I would have preferred a quick access compartment. Okay, now that we talked about everything that is outside, let's go to the main compartment of the bag. Because basically on the outside, as I said, you only have the quick access compartment or the front slash pocket, the laptop compartment, and the main compartment. The main compartment is clamshell opening, which is the opening style that I personally do prefer because it makes it much easier to load and unload the bag, see everything at one glance, but also give you the option if you're saying, oh, I do prefer top loading because I don't want everything to flop over. You can obviously pull the zippers up to here and then just open it slightly like this, and then it would be still somewhat top loading and you don't have the fear of everything falling out when you open the bag. The zippers, before I open it up completely, have this rain flap, storm flap that kind of protects the zippers from direct contact. Obviously it doesn't protect it completely, but having this kind of flap over it still gives you somewhat of protection. For instance, if I'm on a motorcycle and I have some side winds, the wind doesn't directly hit the zippers. So this is a good protection, but it obviously doesn't protect the zippers completely. That being said, the zippers are very durable, and after 8 years, obviously I haven't used this in a while, but the zippers still work very well. And in the beginning when I got this bag, which was for me personally at that time a huge investment, maybe we can talk about this before I go into the bag. The bag itself is already very expensive because it is very durable, has high quality materials, but what made this bag, at least for me, much more expensive was the international shipping and the custom fees. I'm not 100% sure how the exact number was back then. It is 8 years ago, but I remember it was almost 100 euros. So I think it was like 50 or 60 euros just the shipping and then custom fees, and I think I paid overall 90 euros for custom fees and shipping, but I'm not 100% sure. So that is something that you have to keep in mind if you want to buy this bag and you are living in Germany at least. So let's go into the bag, open it up, clamshell style. The zipper goes around this bag almost completely. And then you open it up. What's so great about this bag, what I loved right away when I got this bag and what I personally did not see before in other bags, are these two compartments in the lid of the bag. This basically sold me on the idea of this bag back then, because I've never seen this before in the lid. Yes, some bags have organization up here, but I've never seen it inside like this. And what I liked about this, it kind of distributes some of the items in vertical space of this lid, making the overall usability and how stuff is added inside and organized inside much more useful, because as I said, it uses the whole vertical space of the lid, but also once I get to that side of the main compartment. So these zippered pockets are great for instance, in this top one, I have some more tissues, a stand for my Fold 5 phone, a Moleskine notebook. This one is from Orbit Key, which I like a lot to scribble down notes at work, because I'm much faster if I use a pen. Here's a pencil, a pen and paper, some cough drops, because lately when I'm talking a lot, I don't have a cough, but these are not cough drops. These are actually called Gallery Voice that you can use when you're talking a lot. I notice when I talk a lot, like in podcasts, for instance. By the way, if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, but also to my Instagram second channel and podcast, where I talk every 2 weeks with awesome guests. And then I just take these and then my throat gets a little bit better after talking for hours. So that's in the top pocket. Then in the bottom pocket, I have my AOHI GAN charger with a USB-C cable, the track folding pouch with my extended EDC. You can see a video in the info tab above about what is inside this track folding pouch. This is basically everything that I want to have with me, but it's just too big to keep in my pants pockets. That's why it's called extended EDC. Also, all of these items will be linked in the description below. And if you consider buying one of those items via those affiliate links, you won't pay more, but you will support the channel with a small kickback of that sale. So these a little bit heavier items are in the bottom part of these two pockets, and this one is a mesh pocket, so you can see what's inside, and that's actually pretty cool that you can see the orange and the yellow of those two items. So and now with that out of the way, let's go to the main compartment. in here, and that's also something that kind of sold me on this bag, you have MOLLE attachment points on the top of the main compartment, and you are able to get the GORUCK pouches that you can attach here. They have them in 3 different sizes, I believe, and you attach them to the top and have some more organizational space that also keeps some items vertically distributed and also easier to get to if you open it just slightly on the top, get to whatever is in that top pocket. I, however, wanted to use this opportunity to test this Ventum Gear burrito pouch. This is a very military looking pouch, and if you remember saying me in the introduction, I'm kind of moving away from using military style looking pouches and bags. But yeah, I got this pouch and I'm currently testing it. Not sure if there will be a separate review video about this because, as I said, it looks a little bit too military for my taste, but it is very cool that I can utilize this on this bag. It also has MOLLE attachment points. And what's so cool about this, you have also this Velcro panel where you can attach these extra pouches. I use this clear pouch to store this SharGeek SSD. Awesome SSD. Also linked in the description, but also there's a video about this in my video Everyday Carry Tech Items. I will also link it in the info tab above. And yeah, the usability of this pouch is great because you can attach additional pouches to the outside, but you have a zippered pocket here that I personally have not utilized yet. And then you can actually fold it up completely, and I really like this bright neon green Velcro, to which you can also attach other Velcro compatible items. You can add these pouches to the inside, but that's the only negative about this pouch, but I'm not 100% sure if I really think of it as a negative. This is much more shallow or thin compared to other pouches that I have, and therefore it is a little bit more difficult to put thicker items in here. That being said, this is still a great tech pouch for my mouse. This is the Logitech MX Master, which is actually fairly thick, and my cables, whenever I'm working on a client's computer, for instance, I always bring my peripherals, and having them in this pouch is actually, whatever pouch it is, up here is great inside the GORUCK because, as I said, it utilizes the vertical space. And the Ventum Gear burrito pouch, although it is shallower than most pouches that I usually use, it fits all of these items quite well. So in terms of usability, while it is a little bit more shallow, it also allows it to be less spacious, or it doesn't occupy too much space in your main compartment. That is why it is actually a cool pouch that you can utilize in your GORUCK. It is much more shallower and therefore much more space efficient than the original GORUCK field pouch that is much thicker once fully loaded than this Ventum Gear burrito pouch. It's not by much. It's maybe 1 to 2 centimeters thicker than the Ventum Gear, but these 1 or 2 centimeters actually help to kind of better use the volume in this area. So I like it a lot. As I said, I wasn't too sure if this being too shallower than I anticipated is a negative or not, because at first I thought, yeah, I can't fit that many items inside, but it is fairly easy to put stuff like this Logitech MX Master mouse or other, like a charger inside here. It works quite well. So from that perspective, this pouch, this Ventum burrito pouch, is great. It is also very well made, like most military style items. But that being said, it is military style. Not sure if that's your cup of tea. Personally, from a look, it's not my cup of tea, but it does fit very well into the GORUCK series kind of bags. If you have a GORUCK bag, if you don't want to purchase a field pouch, then this is a very good alternative, the Ventum Gear burrito pouch. So now let's go over more of the main compartment. As you can see here, I have another pouch. This is from me now. This is my action cam audio recorder. I lately record a lot of, I call them Ismono commute videos, where I talk about movies and series and other stuff, or my martial arts journey. You can find those videos on my second channel. So I have my action cam kit in here. So I take this into my car, attach the action cam in my car, have an audio recorder, and then I just talk while I'm driving to work or to the gym. So that's my action cam kit. Then I have the Spelroy Cardiology pencil case, which is my med kit with band-aids, ibuprofen and stuff like that. Also a very cool case. I like this case a lot. Headphones. When I'm at a client, when I'm going to a client, I work at the desk and I don't want to kind of disturb other people, or they are talking and I just can't hear what I'm editing. So I always bring headphones, and that's the main compartment. So MOLLE attachment points up here to give you the option to utilize a pouch like this Ventum Gear Burrito pouch or this GORUCK Field pouch. Attach it up here to have easy access to the pouch. And then you have another small little pocket here that is great, or I think is actually intended for a hydration pack, because you have this kind of loop through thing where you can loop a hose. Is that what you call that on on a hydration pack? A straw or a hose through this little looping point and then attach it to the shoulder strap. But it's also good for documents or maybe a tablet. However, if you have a pouch attached to the MOLLE on top here, it is difficult if you want to utilize it for an iPad, for instance. It is difficult to slot in the iPad without kind of having to fiddle around with this pouch that is attached on top. But I think this is a great place for kind of documents or stuff that you don't need to use that quickly. The bottom has some padding on it, so if you drop the bag to the ground, it is somewhat protected, but it's not much. It's a sheet of foam or what have you. It's squishy, but it's not soft that way, and I would say it's 8 millimeters in thickness. It's not nearly a centimeter, but gives you some protection if you drop it on the ground. Nevertheless, it is a military bag and it's not necessarily intended for using with gear. That is why I like to pack modular with pouches, compartments and stuff like that. There's also actually a video about that, how I pack modular, in the info tab above. I like to pack with pouches and stuff to keep my bag organized, but also kind of protect the items inside those cubes and packing cubes. So that's my review about the GORUCK GR0, which is now called GR1 21 liters. Do I still like this bag? From a usability standpoint, I still like this a lot. As you can see here, see how well you can put stuff into the main compartment. It does not get in your way. It is very simple, and I always say the bag should adapt to your packing style. If there are too many slots and stuff like that, you kind of need to adapt to the packing style of the bag. For instance, the Logitech MX Master. There are so many bags that have a lot of slots and compartments that kind of only, in air quotes, only intended for a Magic Mouse, for instance, that is very slim, compact, and fits easily into those slots. But the MX Master does not fit in most of these organizational slots that I see on some backpacks. So having not too many slots and compartments helps you to kind of know that the bag will adapt to your packing style. As you can see here, I can easily just throw in these compartments, these pouches, but also have the ability to attach via MOLLE a pouch to the top. So to make sure I can put the small items or the items that I need to get quickly on the top instead of them sliding to the bottom. Then you have these compartments in the lid that also help you to organize the items in vertical space, but these being also not too compartmentalized. compartmentalized to kind of limit you in what you pack inside. Imagine if this would be a lot of small slots. My track folding pouch wouldn't fit in here. So having a big compartment where I can throw in stuff but still give me good organization to know where what is amazing in my humble opinion. The build quality is great. This is an 8-year, almost 9-year-old bag, and personally I think it still looks good. The colors haven't faded. It is obviously, my videos are heavily graded, but it is still black. It didn't fade. Do I still like the look? I do like the look. It is military looking, but not to a degree that I personally feel, turned off by the look of it. Not too many straps, not too much moly and stuff like that. So I do like the look, but my taste obviously, like every taste, has changed a little bit. Would I still buy this? If it's just for looks, if it's a bag that I want to use every day, so meaning for work where I need to meet up with clients, where I might have to think about, oh, maybe we're going for dinner after the job. That client might want to go to a fancy restaurant or whatever. It can happen, doesn't happen often, but it can happen. But that's just me. That doesn't have to mean that you feel the same way. It's just for me that I sometimes rather have a rather urban looking bag, in air quotes, cool looking bag, instead of something that is military looking. But that's, again, that's me, and that's just the taste, that how it has changed over the years. Back then I loved this bag, and I still do. If I had the decision to make, if I would buy this again, from build quality, from a usability standpoint, I would buy this 100% again. It's probably not as comfortable as, for instance, an Able Carry Daily Plus bag that is in the same volume size. That is much more comfortable, I would say, but it is still comfortable and okayish, fully loaded. So yeah, if I had to decide now as a over 40-year-old person that has to go to a couple of business meetings and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't buy this again because of the look. But if it's just usability, if it's just durability, and if I wouldn't mind the kind of military aesthetic, then I would buy this again. But with all of the competition that is out there, and with the usability that I personally need a bag for, I would probably go with something else. Also, now that I always kind of punch the bag, I remembered this only has one quick access compartment. I need my quick access compartments. So that's also another reason why I probably would go with a different bag. But all of that being said, still a great bag, still a lot of emotions with this bag connected. And the compartments, this layout, 2 compartments in the lid, attachment points on the top of the main compartment. That layout and this simple main compartment, that alone is, I would wish more bags to be this designed in terms of how they utilize the space of the main compartment. This for me is my perfect layout. Alternatively, Evergoods bags. Those bags are my personal alternative. If you want to have similar usability but have another quick access compartment, a little bit better comfort because they have this kind of slanted design on the, or trapezoid design, not sure how you call it, on the shoulder strap that kind of hugs your bag a little bit better. Still have 2 compartments in the lid, no moly though, and a somewhat military aesthetic in terms of durability, but urban, let's say more city friendly design than the Evergoods is, in my humble opinion, a great alternative to GORUCK. So yeah, I was rambling a lot probably, but that was my returning review of the GORUCK GR1. What are your opinions about this bag? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you have any more questions about this bag or any of the items inside, also let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, click the like button, and please feel free to subscribe to my channel, second channel, Instagram and podcast at You Know The Bow. Stay safe and healthy everyone, and I see you in the next videos. Thank you very much.